The world out there isn't always as safe as we think. Sometimes the most harmless moments are the gateway to our most primal fear. That feeling of being watched, followed, and completely alone with no one to help you. In today's video, you'll hear 3 true stories told by the people who live them. 3 experiences that started off ordinary, but became memories they'll never forget. If you're home alone right now, lock your doors tight, because sometimes what's watching you isn't outside. Story 1. The first night. Alone at home. When I was 12, my parents left me home alone overnight for the first time. We lived in a small town, the kind of quiet place where people didn't lock their cars and kids rode their bikes until it got dark. A place where everyone knew everyone and bad things just didn't happen. That's why my parents felt safe leaving me that night. They left $20 and said, "Order pizza, play games, don't stay up too late." To me, it was every 7th grader's dream, the whole house to myself, PS2 with James Bond and a pizza from Gianni's. Around 7 p.m. I ordered the pizza. When the doorbell rang, I ran downstairs with the 20 in my hand. But the moment I opened the door, I froze. The delivery guy looked off. He was tall, scruffy, like he hadn't shaved in a week, wearing a black beanie and sunglasses even though it was dusk. His arms were covered in faded tattoos, and his fingernails were long and black like they hadn't touched soap in years. He handed over the pizza and looked up at me. For a moment, his eyes lingered, not at me, but past me, into the house. Then he asked in a raspy voice, "Your folks getting back soon, kid?" That question sent a chill down my spine. I stammered, "They'll be back soon." He smirked just a crooked half smile, then turned and walked off. I shut the door fast, the weird feeling lingering like mold in the air. I ate my pizza and played another round of Agent Under Fire. Time passed quickly. Around 11 p.m., the doorbell rang again. I figured it was my parents, so I ran downstairs and called out, "Dad, Mom." But a strange voice answered from the other side. "I need help. Can I use your phone?" I froze. Didn't even peek through the curtain. Something inside me screamed, "Don't open it. Do not." I turned and started up the stairs. And then, he spoke. "I see you." His voice cut through the glass like a knife to the spine. I turned back, and even in the dark, I could see the top of his head, right at the window. His eyes were locked on mine, unblinking. I bolted into my parents' room, locked the door, and called my mom. She answered sounding a bit tipsy, but when I said, "There's someone outside. He's asking to come in," her voice changed instantly. Urgent, terrified. "Does anyone know you're home alone?" I hesitated, then remembered. The pizza guy. That man. I told her. At the same moment, I heard the back gate creak open softly, like someone trying not to make a sound. I whispered, "What if he's coming in the back?" She replied, "Don't speak. Hide. The police are coming." I crawled under the bed and held my breath. Then I heard footsteps. Inside the house. Slow. Careful. Deliberate. Up the stairs. Stopping outside the door. The doorknob turned. Once. Then again. Then 3 soft knocks. No voice. No breathing. Nothing. Just silence so thick it crushed my lungs. I didn't move. I didn't breathe. Until a voice shouted from downstairs. "Police, anyone inside?" I opened the door. 2 officers were there with 2 more downstairs. The back door was wide open. The sliding glass door had been pulled aside. There were smudged handprints on the glass, and a circle scratched into it drawn with the tip of a knife. The next day, my parents took me to Gianni's. That man wasn't there. The owner just said must have been Phil. But when he heard what happened, he went silent, then told us coldly to leave. We never went back. A week later, I found a slip of paper wedged under the front door. No name, Just one line scrawled in shaky handwriting. You're real lucky kid. Story 2. The man at the glass door. My family used to live in California, right in the city sirens, streetlights noise all night. But after my parents retired, they decided to leave it all behind. They built a massive 2-story house deep in the remote woods of North Idaho. No neighbors, no traffic, just forest. Dark, dense forest that sunlight barely touched. I didn't argue. The house was beautiful home theater and a basement bar, pool table, even a gym. But no matter how fancy it looked, I never felt safe. That night my parents went out for dinner. I invited my girlfriend over to watch a movie. We put on Gladiator in the theater room. Dim lights, big screen. But halfway through the movie, I started to feel it. That instinct, goosebumps, like something was wrong, like I was being hunted. I didn't tell her. We tried to enjoy the night. After the movie, I walked her to her car, watched it disappear into the pines. Then I turned back to shut off the lights in the basement. I stepped into the theater room and saw him. Standing outside the big glass door that led to the backyard was a man, still as stone. The indoor lights lit up his face, dirty, unshaven hair, matted eyes wide open. He smiled, a twisted, jagged grin that showed yellow teeth, and in his hand was a knife. He was tapping it, gently, rhythmically, on the glass. I didn't scream, didn't move. I just slowly backed into the next room to turn off the bar lights. And through that sliding door, I saw him again. He'd moved, still staring, still smiling, still tapping. Only glass between us. I ran upstairs. My parents had just come in the front door. I looked at them and said, I think I need to see a psychiatrist. I swear I just saw a psycho with a knife outside. My mom went pale. My dad didn't say a word, just grabbed his rifle and went outside. I asked my mom, "What's going on?" She answered slowly, "There have been some break-ins lately. Your description. It matches exactly. Police came. Found nothing. No footprints. No scratches. Just dark, cold woods." I thought it was over. But that night, while I was sleeping upstairs right above the theater room, I started hearing tapping, soft, metal, like something sharp brushing glass. I told myself it was nothing, but it came back the next night, and the next. One night I woke up at 3 a.m. to footsteps on the roof. Checked the windows. No one, but I knew. He was still there. When winter came, my parents had to leave for a few days. They left me a shotgun, and I had my Rottweiler calm, quiet, but protective. Only barked when it mattered. One night I heard slow, heavy steps in the snow. Then my dog stood up, growling, barking at the door. Then, 3 knocks. Slow, hollow, freezing. I didn't open it, didn't say a word. Just laid there with the gun in my hand, my dog at my feet. The next morning, I walked around the house and found barefoot footprints in the snow circling the house, stopping at every window, then vanishing into the woods. That final night, I made a decision. I walked onto the second-floor balcony, turned on every spotlight in the backyard, and there he was. Same man, same grin, same knife. I raised the gun and yelled, "Leave, I'll shoot." He didn't flinch. I fired one warning shot into the air. He stepped back, slowly, never breaking eye contact. I let the dog loose. He tore into the woods, barking like mad. I haven't seen him since. But sometimes late at night, I still wake up to the sound of something tapping softly on the glass door. Story 3. The man outside the window. This happened in March 2022 during my sophomore spring break. There were 6 of us, 4 guys, 2 girls, and we decided to rent a cabin out in rural South Carolina. No cell service, no neighbors, nothing but woods and silence. The goal was simple: blow off steam, drink a little, blast some music, and be dumb college kids. The cabin was suspiciously cheap, 2 stories, a wraparound porch right next to a small lake. The owner gave us one warning over the phone in a thick southern accent: don't go too deep into the woods. There's old stuff back there, and abandoned, well-busted fences, snakes. Easy to get lost. We all laughed, thinking he was just trying to make the place sound spooky. But when we got there, no one was laughing. The cabin was way more run down than in the pictures. Musty smell, foggy windows, peeling paint on crooked wooden doors. Still, whatever. We turned up the music, grilled some food, cracked open beers. It felt like a harmless night, until the sun went down. There were no lights outside except for the porch bulb, and the woods were pitch black. The kind of black where the light only reached a few feet. No bugs, no wind, just a heavy silence pressing on your skin. We went to bed around 2 a.m. I was downstairs in the room next to the kitchen, right by a window facing the forest. At 4:15, I woke up for no reason. It felt like someone had touched my shoulder in a dream. I stayed still, heart pounding for no reason I could explain. Then I heard it. Tap, tap, tap. At first I thought it was the heater, but it was too uneven, too human. It sounded like fingers, lightly tapping on glass. I turned my head toward the window, and I saw him. A man, shirtless. Long, stringy hair stuck to his head. His skin was pale, like it had never seen sunlight. His face was pressed against the glass, eyes wide open, unblinking, mouth parted like he was breathing heavily. He didn't speak, didn't move, just tapped on the glass, slowly, like he was playing a game. I wanted to scream, but my throat locked up. I whispered for Matt. He was asleep on the couch in the living room. Once, then again, louder. Matt jolted up. What's wrong? I didn't answer, just raised my arm and pointed at the window. Matt turned, and he saw it too. He screamed, knocking over the coffee table as he bolted to flip on the porch light. But the man was gone. No footsteps, no door sounds, just silence. Everyone woke up. Jess, one of the girls, started crying. Tyler tried to act tough, said maybe it was a drunk guy who got lost. Chris said it could have been a hunter, but I knew. That look in his eyes wasn't accidental. He was watching us. The next morning we searched around the cabin, and what we found made everyone go silent. Bare footprints, all around the house, stopping at every window. Even the small ones on the second floor above the sink, places no one should be able to reach. Like he'd been studying the house from outside, every angle. We should have left, but we didn't. We were young, dumb. That night we all drank less. Jess didn't touch a drop. Chris kept a hunting knife in his back pocket the entire time. Before bed, we blocked the windows with chairs, locked every door, checked every latch. Around 3 a.m., Matt got up to grab a glass of water. And then he froze in the hallway. He's in the kitchen, he whispered. I stepped out and saw him, naked. His back was covered in long, deep scratch marks. He was facing the fridge, swaying gently, like he didn't know where he was. Not a word, not a sound. When we flipped on the lights, he was gone. The back door was wide open, but not broken. No signs of forced entry. Like he had a key. We left that night. No luggage. Just our wallets, phones, and car keys. The police said there were some drifters in the area. Mentally unstable, they called them. But the way that man looked at me through the glass, those dead but determined eyes, that wasn't just some harmless, homeless guy. A few days later, the cabin disappeared from all rental apps. We never got a call back, no apology, no refund. And ever since, we've never gone back to South Carolina. But me. Sometimes I still wake up around 4 a.m. with the unshakable feeling that someone's standing outside my window. 3 people, 3 stories. But one fear, not of ghosts, not of shadows, but of the ones living among us, quiet, unhinged, and always looking for a way in. Thanks for watching until the end. If you've ever had a terrifying experience of your own, share it in the comments below. Who knows, yours might be the next story we tell. And don't forget to leave a light on tonight, because someone might be standing outside your window, watching, waiting for you to turn it off.